I am Úna Ní Raifeartaigh. I hope to bring 4 perspectives from my career experience into the court. The first, of course, is as an Irish lawyer, I'm a common lawyer, as distinct from a civil lawyer. Secondly, I was a judge in Ireland, both at appellate level and at court of first instance, so 8 years in total. Before that, for 23 years, I was a barrister or avocat, working in the courts, primarily in criminal law and public law. And I also bring in a 4th perspective, which is the academic research perspective, having worked in Trinity College Dublin and in the Irish Law Reform Commission. I always remember that the court was established after the atrocities of the Second World War. And for me, the court represents the collective hope of a generation and subsequent generations to protect human rights, to stop the erosion of liberties, and an ongoing determination to make sure that that erosion does not take place and undermine something which for me underpins and is essential to democracy, but also for the flourishing of human beings individually and collectively, and that is human rights. Well, I think the case I have to choose is the very first judgment of the court, not only because that is obviously a foundation of its own, but because it involves Ireland. And that case is Lawless versus Ireland, which involved indefinite deprivation of liberty and alleged violations of Articles 5 and 6, and in fact 7. But because of the derogation that Ireland had validly entered, it was ultimately held there had been no breach of the obligations under the Convention. However, I do think it is a milestone in many ways, establishing the Court's general position in respect of deprivations of liberty and right to a fair trial. And I think it's also very interesting for me as an Irish and a European citizen, because it represents an intersection between something of fundamental importance to the Irish state, namely the threat of violence and existentially threatening the actual state since its foundation. It involved the deprivation of liberty of a suspected IRA member. But the intersection between those domestic concerns, very real domestic concerns, and the European perspective on human rights, and therefore it's the intersection of a matter of considerable domestic concern and international human rights perspective.